I don't even know what to do. What do you do in this situation? Hold on. What is up, my boys and girls? We got a new one for y'all today. Today we got Desiderio by Dr. Nowhere. Now, I'm not gonna lie, these type of videos, even though I don't find them as spooky or anything like that, I have been enjoying them more than I really thought. So, we're watching this today, suggested. But, or, we'll see, whatever, you guys know. Anyway, if y'all like the video, like it, go to the original creators and all that jazz, and let's get straight to it. Yeah, that was just weird. That's all it was. It wasn't my audio. It was this guy. Okay. I don't like how it's only playing in my left ear. That makes it. That is nasty. You know, I gotta think about it. Like, I've been like this before. There'll be times you just be like. There's times you just be like this. I'm not gonna lie. You just want to breathe oxygen, bro. And I'm not. Why does bro look like a fucked up Phineas, bro? Why does bro have one? Okay. All right. There's my jokes for now. What the fuck? Oh. What the fuck y'all got me watching? Like, what the fuck? Neil friend? What? What certain drug do you have to do to think of this? I really can't understand why you would do this. I Nothing is making sense to me. He got pills out of his stomach, and then he ate it just for it to go back down, which is probably refilling itself. Okay. What did he do? Oh, he's going to clean the furnace. Okay. Okay. Okay, so he does have 2 ears. He just has a long ass nose. What is the meaning to this, dog?
There's a storm coming, friend. You know they'll never find out what's wrong with you. And even if they did, they're just gonna make you sicker. The doctor just wants to lie to you. They're gonna keep pumping you full of things that fix one problem and then make a worse one. When you get go over there, I'll just try and shove more medicine down your gullet. There's a storm coming, friend, and you'll be all alone inside your house when it gets here. Every drop on your roof will remind you there's no one to share the comfort with. And as if you'll know, you'll be alone with me. You remember our deal, don't you? You should be grateful to even be here.
I don't even know what to do. What do you do in this situation? Hold on. This is fucked up, bro. We need to see the rest, dog. What the I'm lost. I'm completely lost. Hold on a second. Okay, y'all. So we're basically doing we're doing 2 videos. Okay, so we're gonna watch the explanation by Willie St. Willie. So because I need to know what just happened. I don't think I got any clue of what happened. So we're gonna figure this out together. So this might be a 2-in-1.
Hi, everybody. Today we're here to discuss the enigmatic figure known as Dr. Nowhere, once again. Now, the good doctor, or Silas, is no stranger to my channel, as I've previously discussed his Organate Enterprise series and his Boiled One phenomenon. But unlike previously, his latest video has a lot more of a subtle approach.
We might need to go watch those other ones too,
Analysis
now that I think
and
about it.
various interpretations. And of course, I'm referring to a short video titled Desiderio, which is Latin for desire or longing. Desiderio follows the story of a man named Fran Keel, a hypochondriac who's isolated from the rest of the world, whose fear and anxiety manifest itself in rather monstrous ways.
Oh.
The video opens on what I assume to be a rather normal day for Fran. Him sitting by himself in the living room with nothing but the ticking clock and his thoughts to keep him company. However, this false peace is interrupted by something that, for most people, would seem...
now that I think about it, bro did have nothing. You want to talk about ISO? Let me hold that. Let me hold what I'm about to say.
A small piece of soot that drops down from his chimney. This is enough for Fran to start going into a panic attack. And we get a first peek at the physical manifestation of Fran's fears. This strange tree and bronchial tube-like monster that is eerily similar to Fran himself, but with a pale white face and soulless eyes. Wanting to combat this, Fran reaches inside of himself, and we see a smorgasbord of other pills and medication that have been prescribed to him. And interestingly, we see him reach for the albendazole, which is a medication used to treat intestinal parasites. Now, as I mentioned previously, Fran is a hypochondriac, and he suffers from it pretty severely, as we can see. And part of being a hypochondriac involves having excessive worry about having a serious illness, whether it be mental or physical. Now, despite the dozens of pill bottles lined up on a shelf, I don't believe there's anything physically wrong with Fran. At least not initially. Now, fear, stress, and anxiety takes its toll on the human body. And even though Fran may not have a disease per se, physically, his fear does wear on him. And I believe we see that through the gash in his body or the fact that he reaches inside of himself for medication. But more on that interpretation later. Now, after Fran takes his albendazole, we see another small piece of soot drop from the chimney. And this is enough to send Fran into another panic, who then hides himself using a lampshade. He tries to control his rapid breathing and go about his day. But as his panic attack worsens and the soot lingers on his mind...
No, wait. Bro had a TV in his room. Why didn't he just turn on the TV? I'm not gonna lie. I understand being a hypochondriac, you're gonna deal with these things no matter what situation you're gonna be in, but a distraction would help you. Put on some SpongeBob, put on some Teen Titans, and then put on some, let me think. Fuck it. Put on some Star versus the Forces of Evil and you will be good, gang.
Day. But as his panic attack worsens and the soot lingers on his mind, we see his lungs rapidly inhaling and exhaling through the chimney as his fears are getting to him. To me, this is yet another example of his health anxiety, as chimney soot is a known carcinogen, and he's so worried that even this small amount will cause a health problem for him that he has to grab his chimney broom and clean it right then and there in that moment. And he just can't move on until he does. And for hypochondria...
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
This is a never-ending problem. Just one health scare after another. Fran then climbs up to his roof to clean the chimney, and when he looks down, he sees nothing. A perfectly fine and clean chimney. Just another one of his unreasonable fears that are holding him back. He then notices a storm that's quickly approaching. And when he climbs down, he sees it. His fears manifested in front of him. And then it begins speaking to him. There's a storm coming, Fran.
I don't know what that is that he has. I don't think it's I have trypanophobia, but this doesn't, this is near almost that, and it's kind of hard to look at this whole video. So what is this called? It's not that bad, but I just don't like looking at it. They will never
find out what's wrong with you. And even if they did, they're just gonna make you sicker. The doctor just wants to lie to you. They're gonna keep pumping you with things that fix one problem, and then cause a worse one. Fran quickly glances towards the city, but his fear anticipates this and responds. You can't go over there. They're all just trying to shove more medicine down your gullet. There's a storm coming, Fran, and you'll be all warm inside your house when it gets here. Every drop on your roof will remind you that there is no one to share the comfort with. and you'll be all alone with me. You remember our deal, don't you? You should be grateful to even be here. Now, the monologue from Fran's inner fears give us a lot of insight. It alludes to some sort of traumatic event that might have been the cause of Fran's anxiety. But regardless, this entity is just a reflection of Fran himself, and it's what keeps him here, alone, trapped, and isolated from the rest of the world. He's allowed himself to be convinced that he can't trust his doctor, people in the city. They all just want to pump him full of pills. And I find it rather interesting that Fran's inner fears manifest itself as a tree, or even a tree of bronchial tubes for a human lung. And there's a few different ways to interpret this. Perhaps it's literal, and Fran was previously a lumberjack who was injured in a tree accident, and that caused the gash on his stomach. Or perhaps it's a metaphor for addressing the root problem that plagues Fran, such as a tree root that metaphorically sprouts from within, that Fran has to rip out. Regardless of how he viewed it, Fran does just that. He
Why is that kind of hard though? Hold on.
tugs at the root of his fear and removes it from his body, freeing himself at long last. Upon doing this, Fran sheds his former self and blows away like a dandelion seed in the wind, and plants himself back on the earth, waiting to be born again.
Yo! There's more.
Now, I've seen many people in the comments argue about whether or not
Okay, I think we get the point. Thank you, brother. That was hard. That's gas. That, oh my god, that actually went way crazier than it was. That was very. Yo. Good suggestion, dog. Alright then. That's about all I got for y'all today. You already know, if you enjoy it, like, sub, and all that jazz. And make sure to go to these two creators and put in the description and all that. And yeah, just have a nice day, y'all. Peace.